Alright, so hello everyone, and welcome back to the Pillars of the Earth. It's the last book, book 3, and I'm guessing there will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 chapters as usual. What happened in the previous episode you can check in the previous episode. I don't want to spend much time just like reminding you of it. Well, if I summarize it, Jack left for good, Aliena left for good. Aliena probably is gonna go looking for Jack. Aliena has a baby and she was married to Alfred. Then Alfred said, I don't want to be with you because you have Jack's baby stuff. And he left, and now he's working for our enemy, Bishop Valoran, and because I haven't played this game for a while, I don't really remember much. What was this guy's name? Bishop Valoran, and for some reason I remember Bishop Valoran. Doesn't matter. I hope they will remind us of it. Yeah, so the business is not going well. This stuff. So Aliena is all alone by herself with the baby. Oh, Philip is depressed. Aliena is also depressed, I'm guessing. I mean, I think it'll be a bit better for her since she has like a life goal to live for. It's a baby. But for Philip, there's pretty much nothing. The cathedral is in ruins. His brother is most likely dead. We still don't know what happened to him, but I'm guessing he's dead. Everything he's been working hard for is gone, and he's all alone. His friend Milios, his other friend Cuthbert are both dead. So like, I don't know how Philip must feel like, but I'm guessing we'll see. Alright, press accept. Let's jump into the book 3.
Next time on the Pillars of the Earth. Witness the climactic final part of the series.
It's time we take back what was taken from us.
It's time to face our enemies.
Ooh.
It is time to make a stand for what we believe in.
The Pillars of the Earth. Book 3.
Oh,
The
wow.
Eye of the Storm.
The Eye of the Storm. And we're gonna go against our enemies. I'm really worried about that. The Pillars of the Earth, based on the novel The Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett. I don't think we need this. We need book 3. Continue.
The White Ship. She was one of the fastest vessels that was ever built. The man who should be king of the English now, the son of King Henry, was on board when she sailed off. And with the prince there were 140 knights and many nobles, all on their way from Normandy to England. They say the ship hit the rocks, and then a fire broke out. Even before the White Ship had departed, the prince and his men had begun to drink and get violent. Monks that were meant to bless the voyage were then forced to disembark. Some say the ship had been cursed. The king's son and many of his family were pulled down into the Black Sea that night.
Is this the ship where Aliena was, or am I wrong? Why did it look really similar? 1142. Aliena's here.
You're forgetting one important detail. Not only these monks, but also Stephen of Blois, the king's nephew, left the ship before it embarked. They say he got ill.
That old rumor.
The same Stephen who calls himself the King of the English now.
What? That cannot be a coincidence.
Yes, it can be. Of course he's king now. He survived. He is the king's nephew.
What do you think, my lord?
I think Stephen is a clever man. Clever enough to have his whole family perish. But why he would want to rule that godforsaken rock, I will never understand.
What makes you say that? I love my country.
Then why are you leaving?
Well, because I want to see something new.
I'll tell you what you're going to see. A proper country, where people know how to behave.
What about you? Why are you leaving?
had no reason to stay. I'm looking for someone.
I'm looking for someone.
For who?
The husband.
I guess I should stay out of other people's business. Forgive me.
You English do talk a lot, don't you?
I just don't know how to feel about leaving my country for the first time. I mean, how should anyone feel?
Excited, hopeful, desperate. Desperate? Excited? Excited?
Excited?
I don't know. Maybe I'm just running away.
We all do. One way or another.
You should all get some rest. It will not be long now till we reach Cherbourg.
What's
Thank
that?
the Lord. I can't wait to be back.
Be back where? I don't think I've heard that name. It could have been changed. I'm just thinking where they could have landed from England, because there's not that many places to go with the... Okay, we'll see. I'm really excited for this chapter. Or this book in particular. I really hope we're gonna... I don't know. I really hope we're gonna come back to the life we have. I mean, obviously it's not gonna be the same. I'm really worried about Philip and Aliena. I'm sure Jack is fine, because that guy can definitely protect himself. But those two, a monk and a girl with a child. Wait, do we know the name of the baby yet? Do we know the name? Book 3, The Eye of the Storm. Chapter 15. The Journey. Yeah. Normandy.
In the late summer of 1142, I had left my home country, England, for good. My old life lay in shambles, as did my former home of Kingsbridge. Having failed both my friends and family, I had set out to find my baby's father, the man I still loved with all my heart, Jack Jackson. And so early one morning in July, I finally arrived on the shores of Normandy. With nothing on me but a pouch of coin and a young, curious face yet unnamed.
Unnamed, okay.
Who was just as unfamiliar to this new world as was I.
Aww. The White Ship. Okay. That's the story they were telling. Oh my god, hello? Hello, hello, chill, calm down. Let's go. The sinking of the White Ship, 1120. The White Ship was one of the fastest ships of its time. It was steered by the son of the captain of the Moira, the ship that brought William the Conqueror from Normandy to England when he invaded England in 1066. Like his father before him, the captain of the White Ship gladly offered his vessel to many members of the royal household of King Henry for passage on their travel from Normandy to England to visit the king. But like all of the poor souls who went aboard the ship, the captain did not survive the voyage. In the dark of night, the ship hit rocks and a fire broke out. The ship was dragged down to the dark abyss of the sea, and with it many of the king's heirs. Stephen of Blois was meant to be on board as well, but it is said a sudden sickness caused him to leave the ship before it set sail. That November night, as the White Ship sank, Stephen became the last remaining male heir to the English throne, and thus, some claim he was responsible for the sinking. Okay, I heard there is a lot of fighting for that castle. The ship wouldn't land there. Okay. Ship. I took the first ship in the morning. Had to get away as fast as possible. Okay. Mason. I recognize those tools. A mason like Jack. Should we talk to him?
You're still here?
Oh, it's you. I'm just trying to get my feet used to good solid ground again. The last bit of our voyage wasn't exactly my pint of ale.
You're a mason, right?
That hammer you're carrying, do you happen to be a mason?
Actually, I am. You have a keen eye, mistress.
I guess I just know a mason when I see one.
To be honest, I haven't been one long. Just finished my apprenticeship in Salisbury. Before that, I used to shear sheep with my parents, but I guess that wasn't really for me. Father still hates me for leaving, though.
Where would a mason go to find work?
What will you do to find work here as a mason?
Don't know. That's for me to find out. All I heard was that the wages are better over here.
Okay.
So you'll just travel from town to town and look for employment?
Right. And I'll start in Lasay. A fellow mason told me about the abbey there. He said these Normans build their churches quite differently than we do back home. I need to see that with my own eyes. Maybe learn a thing or two.
Maybe Jack went to see the abbey in Lasay. Okay, maybe. Do many masons go there?
Do many masons go to Lasay?
I dunno. It's really just a tiny town.
Tiny
The mason who
town.
told me just happened to do some repairs there once.
Okay.
It's likely he told others as well.
Likely. Okay, thank you.
Have a safe journey.
Oh, thank you. You too.
Okay. Not Jack. For a moment I thought, but it's not him. Stole. They're bargaining for passage, doing business with the English must pay.
Good day. I am looking for someone. A traveller who came through here last summer.
Aww.
Oh, hush now. I need to talk to this man.
Looks young.
He was born at the beginning of summer.
What's his name?
I haven't given him one yet.
You should. He needs to know who he is. Makes growing up a lot easier. You said you're looking for someone.
Yeah. He looks a bit like you, actually.
The man I'm looking for looks a bit like you, actually. A bit more boyish, though.
Boyish.
So he has red hair, but no beard. Well, I don't know every redhead around these parts. There are quite a few of us. Most of my family here in Cherbourg is ginger.
Oh, his name is Jack Jackson, and he is a mason.
No, sorry, I haven't seen him. And I come here every day. Maybe Amay saw him.
Amay.
She helps the sailors get their cargo to the nearby towns. Carries travellers, too.
Okay,
I'll ask her. Well, thank you.
great. Great, it's something, at least. Okay. Do we come here? No. They're selling fish and whatever cargo they can get their hands on. Couch woman. Right?
Hey, you. That's quite a bundle you got there. Where are you headed?
No idea. Have you seen a red-headed mason?
Have you seen a red-haired mason? He must have landed here sometime late last summer.
Another ginger in Normandy? I wouldn't have noticed, even if he was carrying a hammer instead of a fishing rod. Maybe you should ask someone in Barfleur. That's where all the travellers come through, the pilgrims and kings. Their lot rarely lands in Cherbourg, with the fortress passing back and forth between Stephen of Blois and Geoffrey of Anjou. Why you even came to Cherbourg in the first place baffles me.
It was the earliest ship I could get.
You must be in some hurry, madam.
Oh yeah.
Let's just say I needed to get away before I changed my mind.
Fine with me. Who am I to judge?
Maybe in Barfleur. Someone's Jack. Do you know the road to Lasay?
Do you know the road to Lasay?
Been there, seen it.
Okay.
But I hope you're not planning to go there on foot. Tell you what, you give me some coins and I'll treat you to me wagon. You can even change your destination once we're on the road. What'd you say?
Okay.
All right. Take me out of town.
All right. Where'd you need to be?
Where I said, ooh. I said we're going France. Oh, this is gonna be a long trip.
Lessay was tiny, but as it turned out, worth the trip.
Really?
In the small abbey church of the Trinity, I met a monk who claimed to have talked to a man fitting Jack's description. He'd been fascinated by the abbey's rib vaulting and had asked the monks countless questions about the place's construction. The monk apologized that he couldn't tell me where Jack had traveled next, but I didn't mind.
She knows him. It's something, you know? Okay.
I lay down to sleep on the floor of the abbey guest house and, for the first time in almost a year, I felt relief. As I drifted into sleep, I hugged our baby tight and whispered into his tiny pink ear, "We're going to find your daddy."
Are we though? Oh, I would go here. Yeah, let's go there. We need France.
Going to Le Mans reminded me of all the trouble I'd left behind in England. 30 years ago, Le Mans had been conquered by the Plantagenet Geoffrey of Anjou, Maud's husband. And although they'd held it ever since, other noble families kept on pulling at the city, like Maud and Stephen tearing at England.
God.
There was no sign of Jack, but I got news of a new kind of cathedral being built in Saint-Denis, just north of Paris.
Yes!
It was possible that Jack had gone there to learn from the craftsmen. That was, if
Not
he hadn't
because of
travelled
that.
further south, looking for work in one of the many churches in Tours, the hometown of Saint-Martin.
No. No, Jack definitely went here. I think. Please. Because I remember he said France.
North of Paris, I visited the construction of the great cathedral of Saint-Denis. It was far from finished, but already I could feel its magnificence. It was like nothing I'd ever seen before. I assumed if Jack had come near Paris, he would have ended up here. Unfortunately, I was wrong. No one among the army of masons raising the cathedral of Saint-Denis had known him. My stomach churned when I realized that my strenuous walk to Paris had been for naught.
Now we go back? That's crazy. Oh, that's crazy. So there then. After 2 months on the road. Central France. Please. I don't see him. I do not see him. Ask around if anyone has seen Jack. Just like in Kingsbridge, although the design looks very different. Almost from another world. Like the ones Tom used to make back in Kingsbridge. Everything feels so far away now. Important looking man, seems self-assured. A bit of anger on his lip though. Okay, let's go talk to them. To him.
Good day. Are you the master builder?
What is it?
I'm looking for a mason who may have passed through here. An Englishman with carroty hair. He calls himself Jack Jackson.
Please.
A redhead?
Yes. Did you see him? He might have asked for work here.
No, I'm not looking for new masons. We're just doing repairs.
Ah, but was he here?
No, never seen him.
No,
now,
he
stand
has...
back, woman. Something could fall on your baby's head.
May I talk to your workers?
May I talk to your workers?
No, they're busy. And I can assure you they have nothing to say on that matter.
Perhaps I'll talk to them once they've finished for the day.
It would be a waste of time.
I think you know something. I was told he came here.
I was told he wanted to come here.
Maybe he changed his mind.
Are you sure you haven't seen him?
I am.
Are there other construction sites?
Are there other construction sites around Tours?
Well, yes. It's a big town.
And where would an outsider most likely find a job?
Dunno. Ask around.
Okay. It doesn't...
All right. He was here. Was working for me.
Oh,
But I had to throw him out after 2 or 3 days.
Why?
Because he was all want. Let me redesign the roof. Let me make the nave lighter. All pretty ideas, but he never shut up long enough to do the work he was supposed to do. Shit,
Sounds
that man
like
was
him.
almost as needy as my son when he was still a brat.
He does know a lot about his craft.
Well, I know masons like him. They grow up gifted, but without a mote of discipline in their guts. Can't work with someone like that.
okay. When was that?
Do you know where he went next?
No idea. Maybe to Limoges or Angoulême. Maybe even to La Rochelle. Seemed to have plans for every cathedral on God's green earth, but none for himself.
I understand. I'll leave you to it then.
Bon voyage.
Thanks. Well, thank you. It's more than I expected. Okay, this, or this. A flourishing artistic center, another site with another cathedral, an important free port town. I think I would go to the cathedral.
We had just left Tours when I suddenly
Oh.
felt dizzy. I stopped and made rest, trying to catch my breath, then lost my breakfast in a ditch at the side of the road.
Oi, oi.
To my horror, our baby too had grown pale, his breath shallow like that of an old man. I tried not to panic, but the next inn was a long distance away and we couldn't stay on the road where it was wet and cold.
Okay. What do we do? Do we go back? No, let's go back. Let's go back and rest. No?
Back in Tours, the fever got worse. I remember people carrying me into a room, laying me on a bed. I tried to feed my baby, but after that, everything turned into a blur. When I awoke, Jack was standing next to my
What?
bed. He scolded me for following him. "You know you could go anywhere you want," he whispered. "Why be stupid and follow me?" I tried to answer, but he just opened the window and jumped out, heading toward ancient Greece, or maybe all the way to Arabia. And in my feverish mind, I followed him.
She followed him. Isn't it like a nightmare? It is a nightmare, okay. Ooh. Let's go Greece. It is a nightmare, I think.
The further I went, the angrier I got. For years, I'd been fighting for my family. I'd committed myself to an oath to my father. I'd built up a business to sustain it and even married a man I despised so I could create a future for the people around me. I'd known nothing but my duty to the men in my life, while the man I was trying to find lived a life of casual irresponsibility. He traveled the world on a whim to learn about mathematics and philosophy, while I had to raise the child he'd fathered.
What?
When could I ever do anything just for myself? I asked the world as I went on.
Kingsbridge. A site of great failure.
I'd travelled in a circle all the way to the edge of the world and back, only to return to the place of our failure. With my eyes closed, I listened to the sound of ripping yarn and crumbling walls, and of coaches carrying good people away into a cloud of crimson dust.
What's this?
When the last moat had settled, I opened my eyes again and found myself in a dirty little room. An old maid was sitting next to my bed and smiled at me, then handed me my baby.
So we're okay.
Oh, dear God. He still looked so pale.
I know nothing about that. Keep him warm.
The more I tried to keep him warm, the colder he felt.
Okay.
Oh, please, God, let him live. Don't punish him for my own sins. I gently caressed his head until finally he put his mouth to my breast and drank more and more, becoming greedier with every swallow. We had both been spared. We rested one more day. Then I gathered my things and headed back to the cathedral to thank the Lord for his mercy.
Is everything okay? God. I'm so worried. We're okay. I need to thank the Lord for sparing our baby's life. Okay. 20 orange. Aren't they usually round? Never seen them like this. How do we go in? Oh, here. A good place to say my prayers. Okay. I thought we need to go inside.
I thank you, dear Lord.
All right, steady now.
I thank you for having spared my child. I thank you for...
Don't let go until it's done.
Wait.
But why are you showing mercy on me? I failed everyone I cared about. I failed Jack. I failed my brother. And if I never return, I would also break the oath I had given Father. It's just that I feel like I've never had a life of my own. I've always fought for others. And this may be the very first time that I fight for something that I only want for myself.
That's good then.
Maybe I should just go back and help rebuild Kingsbridge. Maybe Jack doesn't even care for me anymore. Amen. Huh.
Yeah, I noticed it too.
I've seen one of those before.
It's amazing, isn't it? The man who did that really had it in him.
I knew him once.
I agree. He always did.
Oh, you knew Master Jacques?
Yes, but it's been a while since I last saw him.
It's a shame that the Master let him go. In just 1 month, he did so many things.
What did he do?
What did he do?
He came up with ideas for how to make the construction easier. But the Master didn't want to hear it. To tell you the truth, everyone thinks that he feared for his own job having someone like that around.
Really?
The last thing Jack did was carve that corbel. It was the one thing the Master let him do. Then when he was done, he was asked to leave.
It bears so much pain.
It bears so much pain.
I know. Jacques worked very hard on it. He was impatient and had a temper, but you could see that he tried to overcome it. Conquering that rock was very important to him.
Oh, I understand that so well. Do you happen to know where he went next?
He wanted to walk the pilgrim trail to Santiago de Compostela.
Santiago.
The Camino? The Way of St. James?
He said he might find someone there who knew his father.
Oh.
Just one more thing. How was he when he left?
Never thought about that. Relieved, I guess.
Relieved.
He seemed ready for something new.
Thank you so much for your help.
Think nothing of it. And good luck on your travels. May you find what you are looking for.
Now we know. Oh my god. That was a good thing we came back here. Far away.
Isn't it odd? just when you stop looking, you come across the most curious of things. Like these 3 devices that one of my merchants brought back from Baghdad.
Oh, no. Is it another one of your Banu Musa toys, Rashid?
What?
They're not toys, Adriel. They're objects of scholarly ingenuity and reflection.
I will let my valued friend from the north do the honors.
North.
Jack, if you may.
He's that far away.
For one,
A
let
Jew,
me
a
draw your
Muslim, and a
attention to the
converted
magnificent
Christian,
songbird
yet
on
their
the table.
quarrels are always playful, full of wisdom and
then,
curiosity.
To that wondrous donkey next to the entrance.
Walls, revolts, and pointed arches. These southern
Although,
builders are
the most
genius.
astounding thing of all stands right between them.
Now the new device, this one works with steam.
That statuette.
Haha, precise.
Full with water to cool
But
off in the
one
afternoon.
thing at a
Too heavy
time.
to carry around.
Let us let Jack decide what to
Yeah, wait.
demonstrate first.
Okay, okay, let me decide something.
On second thought, why don't you save the lady for last? Otherwise, the other 2 devices might appear bland and boring in comparison.
Okay.
I agree. He likes to take his
That's
time,
okay, though.
doesn't he?
Yeah. Okay. It's empty. Okay. It's filled with water. Okay, now we'll put it here.
And now?
Now, Jack will heat the water in the tank.
Heat the water. Okay.
What is he doing
Rashid
now?
Must never
Not
know I've
much,
burned
I
down
suppose.
the cathedral. Okay.
It's so beautiful it will make you cry. Just listen.
Inspect. I'm sorry, I don't know how to read this. The Banu Musa brothers were 3 scholars of Persian descent who lived in Baghdad. Oh, Baghdad, okay. In the 9th century. They are known for the Book of Ingenious Devices, a large illustrated collection of mechanical appliances and automata. Those automata were largely designed for entertainment but featured innovative engineering. The brothers also wrote books on astronomy, astrology, and geometry, the last of which had a great influence on both Islamic and European mathematicians. Mathematicians? Yes.
Well, how marvelous!
How does it work?
Maybe it's a miracle.
Maybe.
Right.
Go on, Jack. Tell them.
Explain it. Okay.
There's a hidden wheel inside the box. It turns an axle that in return raises and drops a sequence of small cylinders inside. These cylinders work like fingers playing a flute.
But who is blowing into the flute?
Steam.
Steam?
Yes. When I opened the pipe, it gradually pushed itself into the tube.
The power of steam. For once,
I
I
do
must
not like
agree.
this. Who's
This
that?
is brilliant.
Of course! It was created by a Muslim after all.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. What else have you got, Rashid?
Anyone care for some tea?
Who is Aisha?
Thank
don't
you,
know.
my daughter. We
Oh,
will have
it's-
some as soon as Jack has finished our presentation.
Mind if I watch?
Of course not.
Girl! I mine it!
So, who is this man, Rashid?
Jack is a friend of the house. A brilliant man, a scholar and
We
a
don't know.
talented artist. Just the other day, he explained Euclid to me. What is that?
What is the third
A
device?
Greek
I
who
don't
wrote
see
a
it.
book called The Elements of
Oh, donkey
Geometry.
device. Okay, hello.
The
One
Egyptians
of her
translated it
new
into
toys.
Arabic,
It's from a
and now
country
the
far
Englishmen
east.
are turning
Runs
it
with
into
water alone.
Latin.
Okay.
How very peculiar. I could watch this man scoop up water all day.
Oh, thank you. Why is it a bit weird? It's a bit weird, isn't it? Okay, let's go. What is gonna happen now?
Now, watch the head.
The head.
Just any moment now.
Okay. Ooh.
There. Did you see?
Yeah.
It threw up. Rashid, this is disgusting. Oh, far from it. Would you kindly explain how it works, Jack?
Yes. It's pure magic.
You see that bowl floating on top of the water? At the bottom of that bowl is a small hole. Through it, the bowl is slowly filled with liquid. Once it's full, it sinks, pulling a string which makes the ball drop onto a weight. This, in return, pulls the bowl up again, emptying it in the process.
Thus resetting the entire mechanism.
If you timed it perfectly, you could make it drop a ball at every hour.
Turning it into a clock. How clever.
For me, it's still nothing more than a puking donkey.
Show us more, Rashid.
One could join those two and build a singing donkey clock. One song after every hour.
Listen to me. I have no idea what this woman wants. But, you know, we're married and stuff. Not like, not married yet, but yeah, we're not available. Okay, let's be nice.
That would be pretty clever.
Let's be nice.
I know, right? You could be the one to build it.
Oh, that would be unfair. It's your invention.
I would let you have it. Or we design it together.
You still haven't shown us that statuette yet.
Yes.
Of course. Jack, if you may.
What am I supposed to do with it? If I may. Okay.
Oh, you will love this. Just watch.
I watch. I need to put it somewhere cool. Somewhere cold?
Have you seen it already?
Of course. Father showed it to me the moment he brought it home. It's very strange.
Okay. Somewhere cold, somewhere cold. Where would that be? Small table. Vault. Is there anything else? Oh, you mean in the shadow?
And now?
Just be patient, but don't look away.
Okay, I won't look away.
It takes some time for her to...
To do what?
Hmm? Is it crying? Isn't that amazing?
I don't see it, people.
No, it's irritating.
Rashid, what is going on?
It's a mystery.
It's a mystery.
Rashid, please. We all know that there is no such thing as a man-made miracle. And this piece of wood is very clearly made by man.
I very much agree, my friends. But so far, none of us has an explanation.
All we know for certain is that her glassy eyes shed tears when you move her from warmth into cold.
Like a plant at sunrise? Like dew? The only difference is the surface, that's all.
Don't look at me like that. Ask her to go on? Question mark?
I think you may be onto something.
Am I? Of course, I had no intention of disturbing your conversation. But if you can find out why there's dew gathering on a plant, you may understand why that woman is so weepy.
Getting
So,
warm.
who wants a cup of tea?
I'll have some.
Your
Jack?
daughter is quite something, Rashid. A scholar in her own right.
Jack, do not look at her like that.
I know. I'd rather she wasn't. It would make marrying her off so much easier.
Oh, I'm certain that won't stay a problem for long.
Maybe the dew originates from invisible water in the air. Water that stays hidden when it's hot.
Why they're looking at each other like that? She's literally married. Almost. Almost.